I hope you guys are clenching real tight because we're about to tickle some booty holes. Hey everyone, my name is Jess.
And I'm Chris.
And I'm Tyler.
And we're SubculturedTV. And today we're going to be defending bad anime takes. So here's how the game works. We have a hat full of cards on a bunch of different takes that a lot of the anime community absolutely disagrees on. Now, our objective is to pretty much defend those bad takes. And, you know, you can try your best to convince the others of your take, but I gotta be honest, a lot of those are really bad and they're gonna be really, really hard to defend.
I guess we'll find out who should have been a lawyer.
True, yeah, an anime lawyer maybe.
There's no such thing.
Honestly, there should be one.
Maybe, have you not watched Black Clover?
Oh, that's lawyers? True. Yeah, they do.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
I forget his name.
I know.
The balance dude.
He's the one that puts Asta on trial.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
that's who will be.
Either way, who wants to go first? Because this is going to be spicy.
Well, seeing as though you're the one that went out and found these, I think you should do us the honors.
First of all, I'd like to say, yes, I found some. I wrote some. That doesn't mean these are my takes. I want to be very clear about that.
Listen,
or
you can
are
do
they
whatever you want,
takes?
but the internet will roast us for all these takes that we disagree with.
Especially when we post them on TikTok or Reels.
Oh my god!
Because they have no context of what any of this is going to be, so it's just going to be like, how could you say that?
Yeah.
And then as the glasses lift, did you not know that blah, 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 blah?
Oh
right.
my god.
This is the one that I got. Nothing is wrong with Loli.
Oh, what a terrible one to start with.
Well.
All right. Easy peasy. So I would like to make my case by there's nothing wrong with Loli. I'd like to know what is wrong with Loli. I think it's only wrong with Loli if they're not above the age of 18, but you can't blame someone for how they look if they're thousands of years old. You know, how do you expect them to look? What's wrong with someone looking a little bit younger? Because then I could also say, depending on the art style, sometimes anime characters look younger or older than they are. Like, for example, this season of Classroom of the Elite, is it just me or does Iona Koji look a little bit older, even though he's in the same exact grade, right? So why is it so weird for a 1,000-year-old person to maybe look a little bit younger? Now, I think it just depends on how you view it. If you're looking at them and you're like, this is my ideal girl, then sure, it's a little sussy.
A little?
But if you're like, I like this character, there's nothing wrong with liking a loli character. There's nothing wrong with having a loli character. It's how the loli character is used, right? So if it's like Merlin, that was like a loli by trap. You know what I mean? No one knew what Merlin really looked like until later. You know, I'd like to go out and say that from like 7 Deadly Sins, you know? But if all of a sudden, like, for example, in League of Legends, there's someone called Zoe. She's thousands of years old, but looks like a little girl. It's fine to have that as your main character. Not to be like, I want to Rule 34 this, though. You know what I mean?
What's Rule 34?
It's like...
the opposite of of Order 66.
Might as well be, yeah. So it's essentially, have you ever been online and seen like a picture of an anime character that wasn't drawn by that mangaka? You know what? It's essentially
like fan art?
So like
worse than fan art.
Like,
I think it's a little bit.
What's it called? It starts with a D.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
I forget what it's called. It's like DOJ something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Doja Cat?
Not Doja Cat.
No. It's like Department of Justice. I'm just kidding. No, but
like
it's
Dojenshi or something like
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called.
Oh, like fan manga.
Yes, but it's closer towards like the ecchi, and sometimes it is
beyond the line.
Okay.
It's hentai, yeah.
Counter argument.
Okay.
You said there's nothing wrong with having a loli character.
Yes.
I disagree because regardless of how old they are, a lot of the loli characters are scantily dressed. Scantily. Skimp central.
First of all, I would like to say I'm a female positive.
Oh!
And I'm not going to say, look what she's wearing. I don't know. I don't pay attention to that. I look at what's their personality.
Holy moly.
So what you're saying is that you see what what's
see
within.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it's shallow of you to just look at what they're wearing.
Dang.
I think it's weird for
What if that's what they're comfortable in?
like the goddess from what is it? Danmachi?
She's not Loli though. I wouldn't
Hestia?
say.
No, she looks like 12.
She looks like a short person. She doesn't look like a young person.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. Okay. What about the
would say
devil
the-
or Satan or whatever from Mushoku Tensei?
But I don't think
the
she was.
demon
I
lord?
don't think she was scantily dressed.
Oh, I think you're very, very misremembering.
She's wearing the X all the way through.
Like you can see under boob and everything, I'm pretty sure.
But you can't see boob, and that's what I'm saying.
Isn't under boob part of the boob?
Only if you imagine it.
No, I think it's anatomically still part of the boob. Chris, resident physical expert,
I mean, yes, it's part of the boob, but I mean,
confirmed.
it's just
So is it wrong for someone to wear a bikini? No. Is it wrong to look at someone wearing a bikini and think things about them without their consent? That's where the difference is.
Is it wrong to wear a bikini? No. Is it wrong to wear a bikini to public establishments that definitely are not on the beach?
Okay.
Yes.
So, but here's the thing. It's kind of like in the really shitty Marvel movies, the Eternals, where there was that one girl who was thousands of years. She's an Eternal. The one, not her name. Is her name Pan? She looked like Peter Pan.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Short hair.
It's just a young kid that betrayed everyone because she wanted to
She loved
be with
Icarus.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
It's kind of like that. Like, it's unfair to expect them to, like, maybe the reason why they dress like that is because people just brush them off as being, like, not being able to be a love interest. But it's weird for them to be with, like, someone that's young, even because they look young. So they would need to be with someone that's older. And that's the way of them trying to get that across. Is that not fair for them? They need a love life of someone that's older.
I like how Tyler picked up a card that said, like, lollies are good or something.
No, I said there's nothing wrong with a lolly.
Or there's nothing wrong with lollies, and he changed it to there's nothing wrong with lollies that are actually thousands of years old. Like, he, like, added something because he knows
There's
that
nothing wrong with a lolly?
because he knows that he can't defend the straight Loli take.
Wait,
It's a lawyer take. It's what.
Yeah, it really is.
We're in anime court, okay? We're not in the anime end all be all.
Tyler,
I
for
should put
president
in the-
2024.
Yeah.
Politician of the year.
Yeah.
I should put the SVU sound, the dun dun.
It's like, what do you think about taxes? You know, there are taxes. Some are good, some are bad. I don't know. Because the thing is, like, I don't think it matters whether they're 1,000 years old or 20 years old but look young. You know what I mean? I still think it's the same thing. Like, whatever. I think it's how someone views a lolly is what's wrong with that.
So
I don't think the lolly themselves is bad.
So
on very little occasions.
to play devil's advocate, right?
Okay.
Let's say there's a lolly.
Okay.
She's thousands of years old.
Okay. How thick?
Nothing at all.
Yeah.
There, nothing. Got nothing going.
Okay.
Goes to a school,
Goes to a school.
like middle school,
Okay.
and tries to present. And then, but the teacher who thinks it's a student is hitting on her.
The teacher is messed up.
Yeah, the teacher's. But
But she's not wrong for being a lolly.
for entering school.
That's wrong for her
entrapment.
to enter school. Yeah, that's entrapment. He was trapped.
He was.
So uncomfortable. I don't know what makes me more uncomfortable. The thought of like lollies or how well Tyler is defending this lolly take. Like I'm truly
Yeah. So that's my take. I'm gonna do one of the cool like shots. Like it's gonna look like it's going to the camera.
Oh man.
it's gonna look so lame.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, I didn't see anything. Got lost the second it left his hand.
Okay, I'll give it to you on that one. I still disagree heavily, but
Guys, she said she gives it to me that there's nothing wrong with lollies.
No. It was a good argument for one of the worst takes.
I went through the middle thinking, surely I won't get screwed hard if I go for the middle, and I'm like, and then I got, that's possibly the worst one I could have picked out. No, I think that is the worst one I could have picked out.
Yeah, there's one in there that's worse for me, but yes.
Yeah.
For you.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Let's see, Jess.
I'm also gonna go for the middle trick.
Don't do it. It doesn't work.
Well, you got the worst one, so.
That you know of.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's
So the take I got was Geto was right from JJK.
Which is so unfortunate because I know you believe this.
yeah.
I don't believe it. I just think that he had a little weight to what he was saying, because basically what was happening in JJK is Jujutsu sorcerers have to all risk their lives, right, to protect people that don't even appreciate them.
Well, it's beyond don't appreciate. They literally like had them in cages.
Yeah, exactly. And so why should a group of people have to risk their life? They're pretty much slaves. They are, do you remember 86?
Mhm.
Jujutsu sorcerers? They are the 86.
Okay.
And wouldn't you agree that the 86 did a great service? And Jujutsu sorcerers are doing a great service.
Yeah.
But imagine if you could take out everything, right?
Mhm.
Like, and let's be real, right? Based on the Jujutsu world, most of the cursed spirits are in Japan. They don't have to off everyone in the world. Just,
No, they would have to off everybody.
well, is it
Well-
just that they're spawning in Japan?
No, we're just getting the POV from Japan.
Yeah.
No. You guys didn't read ahead. That's why. But the whole thing is
What do you mean? I
they're
know,
'cause-
consolidated in Japan.
A lot of
No.
them are consolidated in Japan, but there are sorcerers from around the world. Because remember the guy that Gojo fights in
That's
Jujutsu
true.
Kaisen 0, he's not from Japan.
Okay. But it's still unfair that they have to fight them. And realistically, the normal people, they couldn't fight them themselves, right?
Yeah.
Because they lack the cursed energy in order to do a good job when fighting them. So why should they? And they've been put to this for so long.
I'll
For
ask
so
you
long, they've
one
been.
question, Jess.
Oh, well, I'm in the middle. I'm sorry. Did we interrupt Tyler during his monologue?
Okay.
I'd like to take back his points.
All right, we'll give you another 15 seconds, Jess.
I'm just saying, there seems to be a very easy solution. And I just don't know why we gotta keep wasting lives of Jujutsu sorcerers, martyrs, some would say. For what? When there's an easy solution to just get it at its source.
So here's the problem. Do you believe with what Aaron did, or do you believe...
I believe what Aaron did was right.
Now, do you believe what Aaron would... if Aaron got rid of everyone that wasn't...
I think that would have been better.
Okay. So then I get why you believe in that. That being said, it still comes to the whole concept that there is a moral right and wrong.
Hold on.
And you
In
can't
fact,
sacrifice...
you brought up a
Actually,
great point.
you know
You
what?
brought up a great point.
I have something for you, Jess.
Huh.
Let's say every dog on Earth got infected that would slaughter humanity, but just humans. Would you say that it's okay for us to annihilate?
I would slaughter the humans
You would slaughter the humans.
to protect the dog's conscience. So they don't feel guilty, I would slaughter the humans. Yes. Was that your question?
I'm having a hard time against this one because
I know because I believe it.
this is just Darwinism.
Yeah.
Well, hear me out.
And-
You mentioned a great thing about Attack on Titan, right?
Yeah.
If you remember the end credits on Attack on Titan, because he didn't off the entire opposite population, what ended up happening is you can
Psycho-violence.
actually see that they get nuked and the whole paradise literally gets nuked and it's no more, like in the end credits, right? I mean, that seems like worst case scenario, no?
But I think
And he kept people alive and that still happened. I think if he didn't do anything, it would have happened just sooner. It might have not been nukes only because of technology, but they would have been bombed to oblivion way before when the nukes would have been. And so the only time you can get to a place where there would be absolutely no annihilation is to annihilate first.
So here's the issue with Jujutsu Kaisen in that it makes it different than any other one of these scenarios. You can come from a family of sorcerers and then have zero cursed energy.
Yep.
And then what you're saying is then that baby has to be offed.
Yeah. Like
But then there's
Toji.
Toji,
Yeah.
and he didn't really bear any curses and eventually developed a heavenly restriction, but yet the Jujutsu world looks at him as lesser than. You know what I mean? So it's like, is it
Because-
wrong to get rid of someone
Here,
that
let me.
isn't part of your family just because, but they have the same exact attributes as your family?
If you remember, the reason that the the alternative that the lady is pursuing exists is because the whole concept is jujutsu sorcerers can control their cursed energy.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't leak like with regular humans who have only a very, very minuscule amount, but they do. And that still leaks because they can't control it. The difference is Toji had absolutely zero. There was none for him to leak. If they are full jujutsu sorcerers and have, enough cursed energy, or they have absolutely none, like not even a minuscule amount, then both can survive. But if you have a tiny bit and you can't control it, that leads to leakage. So Toji in this situation would be fine.
So the question is, when you look at Masho, do you think Masho should be killed?
Ooh.
No, because Masho's not doing anything to harm anyone.
But
the people are harming people by leaking their cursed energy, their spiritual energy, and then causing curses to be born.
But they're also the ones that are attacked by the curse energy. Like, for the most part, cursed like spirits don't really go after the jujutsu like high people. Yeah. They go after the normal people. So it becomes a whole concept of like, do you think in Mashle they're right in that everyone without magic should die?
The issue isn't really like who they go after. It's the fact that there are so many curses and a lot of them are strong. Like, for example, Mahito and even Jogo, right? Mm-hmm. He doesn't just burn human beings. He can burn buildings. He can burn infrastructure. And it does cause a disruption in daily life for everyone, not just to regular humans, but jujutsu sorcerers as well. And what are we going to do? Just like ignore them? We can't, right? Because eventually they get way too strong like Sukuna. So we have to keep them in check by exercising them as they go. And in order to keep exercising as they go, jujutsu sorcerers have to put their lives at risk.
But wouldn't it just be an endless cycle? Because they use curses to destroy curses. And if there were no curses, then they wouldn't have access to any cursed energy because there wouldn't be any cursed energy. So then as a result, they would then be...
They are the source of the cursed energy. The leakage causes the curses. Like the curses, like
but eventually, if they got rid of every normal person, there wouldn't be any more like jujutsu people. I don't think they would continue to have inherited.
I think you're assuming a lot about evolution of.
Well, no, the whole thing about the jujutsu world is about balance.
Yeah, that's the whole point of why Gojo was.
Yeah, and balance worked real well in Star Wars, huh? When Luke brought balance, that was really great, huh?
Luke?
Yeah,
wait,
balance sucks,
all
right?
Hold on.
Balance sucks.
Hold on.
No.
Luke? Luke brought balance?
You know I meant Anakin, whatever. But...
It did work.
Hear me out. I hate when people say balance because it's never balance between two neutral things. It'll be like good and bad. And it's like, okay, would you rather have 50% good and 50% bad in your life? Or would you rather have, 90% good, 10% bad? I personally would love 90% good. I hate balance. Like, a balance can go heck right off. Like, I'd rather have mostly good, and that's why I side with Geto. I'd rather have 90% good. The 10% bad is obviously the original annihilation of everyone else. But eventually you get to 90% good, and I think that's a worthwhile trade-off.
But the thing is, once normal people die, can't they still, don't they, curse people? So,
only if they know. Only if they know. But if you just right from the beginning, you set. As long as they don't build the resentment.
You'd have to all at once just kill everyone.
Yeah, which is going to be impossible.
Hear me out. Friendship circle? Mahito. Thoughts? Friendship circle, holding hands.
Yeah,
Mahito in the center.
I'm probably going to give it to Jess just because I quite frankly believe that Geto wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think he was right, but I don't think he was wrong. It's just two ways to look at it.
Yeah, just like with Aaron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's your turn, Chris.
That was an easy take.
I hope you get a hard take. Mostly because I'm the only one that's had a hard
from
take.
the top.
Okay. 7 Deadly Sins. Season 3 and 4 animation was not that bad.
You believe that?
And is totally watchable.
That's nuts, Chris.
No.
You have to defend it. No. You're supposed to say yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You really thought it was good?
What made it good?
You don't think there was a difference between season 2 and 3?
Do you remember when you caught the spear in season 1?
Can you give me an equivalent in any other season?
Yeah. I would say there was more animation between Ban and Meliodas' arm wrestling in the prison than there was in the entirety of season 3 and 4.
I will say this animation made it easy, so easy to watch that children can sit down and not even realize the amount of violence that's happening on the screen.
No, it was more like it was so good for inspiring kids when they looked at the artwork that they give their mom to put up on the fridge, and they were like, "It's not that different, mom. It's not that different."
Yeah, see, they'd be like, "See, mom, I'm good enough for a multi-billion-dollar company."
Yeah,
But you liked it? You thought it was totally watchable?
I think it's great for children and those that.
But it's about you. What did you think about
have
it?
a vision impairment?
but children aren't
But how
gonna.
did you like
children
it?
aren't gonna reach season 3 because there was season 1 and 2.
It's true.
It's just to get them ready for that. They thanks to the animation, they made it really easy to digest the story because that's all you had to focus on.
Okay, so you didn't think it was that bad.
So you don't remember the Meliodas versus Escanor fight, where you see him going like this.
It made you see every movement.
But did you?
You got to see where the strike began and where it ended.
I'm just not so certain that it was that good, Chris.
I gotta be honest. I don't think your heart's in it, Chris. I don't think you're selling it at all.
We should have made it like, if your heart's not in selling it, Bean Boozled.
Our biggest nightmares.
Yeah.
Oh, listen. At least they got to finish the anime.
You know what? So I guess here's my question, Chris. Would you be fine with No Origami season 3 if it came out with the same quality of season 3 of Seven Deadly Sins?
I believe there are a lot of great studios out there.
No, but like, what if they were the only ones? What if they were the only ones willing to do it?
Studio Dean is just they're.
But what if they were the only ones willing to do it, Chris?
They can't.
Would you watch it?
They unfortunately, I know they're already booked up. They can't. But like Studio Wit could totally take over.
But what if? It's a yes or no question.
Yeah.
Nothing's truly yes or no. Everything's in shades of gray. Especially
like
for
50
someone like
shades
me.
of gray, man.
Yeah.
His card says season 3 is totally watchable and the animation's not that bad. And his arguments are, it might be bad, but kids can watch it.
Yeah.
Like, you're still not in line with
I think you're losing this case, Chris.
I don't know how I can even defend this.
That's pretty rough.
Wow, we got our first loss of the day.
That was rough.
All right.
That's
That
a
was
hard
rough.
one. That is a hard
Do
one.
I go for like a middle again, or do I
you.
go?
Apparently, don't go for the
I
top.
go for the very bottom. How about
All
that?
right.
Oh, I'm ready to get canceled so hard right now. One Piece is overrated.
Oh.
Let me tell you guys about all the way that One Piece is overrated.
Are
I
we
have
talking
not
anime
met-
only or manga too?
Oh, I'm only talking anime. We're an anime podcast.
Just want to make sure.
It's true.
So I have not met a single person that can truly justify One Piece, the beginning being good. And you know how I know that? It's because everyone says it's a journey. You got to watch it all the way. And then every time when I say, yeah, but the beginning was slow and it was crap, you know what they all say? Well, you got to give it till past Wano. Or you got to give it like 200. You got to get like 200 chapters in the manga.
No, they always say past this arc rather than the episode because
Yeah.
they know that the episode mark they're thinking of in their head is episode like 250.
Yep.
Yeah.
So one, that's my problem. Two, the character development of Luffy doesn't happen early enough. When you first meet him, like, yes, they get the concepts of like hockey and like further gears down the line. But when you first meet him for the first quite a bit of time,
Like
you're
400
like,
episodes.
yeah, you're like, wow, this guy is pretty darn strong. He doesn't really have much growth that's needed, like compared to people like Naruto, compared to people like Ichigo. Like those people actually started, and you got to see their journey unfold. Unfortunately, everyone in One Piece has more character development than Luffy, like pre-episode 100. You know what I mean? The dog. I will go back to Choo Choo every single time. There is more about Choo Choo's backstory than Luffy's backstory in the first like 50 episodes.
But why does just the first 10% of an anime, why does that
Because
affect?
it's the first 100 episodes of the anime. It's the first 100 out of 1,300 or whatever
hey,
we're at
we know
now.
10% wrong, 90% right. Still
It's
an A.
true.
The thing is, you
It's
can't say
true.
One Piece isn't overrated because it's S tier now. If something is only S tier, like that far in the game, you can't just ignore everything that happened in the beginning.
But what if it's
Also,
900 episodes?
Animation, terrible. And I'll say this. I think animation of One Piece was worse than Naruto, was worse than all the other animes that came out at the same time as it. Like, realistically, I watched the 1080p version, which Crunchyroll, stop smoking your crack. It's like it's like
360?
480p, 360 if you're feeling generous. You know what I mean? You know?
Okay, you said that you can't say it's good because that
No.
10%.
I never said I can't say it's good. I can say it's overrated.
No, you said that you can't say that only 10% is bad because that's 100 episodes, right?
Yeah.
But why can't it be? Why can't people say it's peak? Because there's 900 episodes of S material.
No.
There's like JJK, is it an S? Of course it is. S plus plus plus. But there's only like 50 episodes. They have 900 S episodes.
No. They do not have 900 S episodes.
They have 700
S
episodes.
They have 900 episodes, of which maybe 450 are S.
You are estimating based on nothing.
Based on nothing? What do you mean based on nothing?
You didn't watch the 900 episodes.
I've watched so much of One Piece through YouTube Reels. I mean, through YouTube Shorts. I am nearly an expert.
No,
It's true. It's true.
I don't know. I mean, like, what do you even think that it's rated for you to think that it's overrated?
I think One Piece, because here's what I'll say. Not a single one of the big three is not overrated. I love Naruto. It is one of my favorite shows of all time. I don't think it's an S tier show. I think what it did for the anime community is an S tier. Like, it's an S tier thing if you look at it in history, but if you look, like, that's like looking at a Model T and being like, that's an S tier car. Like, really impactful doesn't mean that it's actually an S tier looking back on it. Like, you cannot just say, well, for its time, it wasn't that great. I appreciated even like Naruto more. Realistically, it had more character development. It got into things a lot faster. Now, if you want to say it's S tier now, I don't mind that. I think they've done a great job of improving even the animation style. But I can't say that it's an S tier anime as a whole because the beginning is so bad. Now, if they like do the remake like they think they're going to do, I think that, like, depending on how much crap they cut out, it might actually be an S tier anime. But realistically, it's not. I think it's overrated. Everyone thinks it's the greatest anime to ever touch the earth. Honestly, I'm sorry. Oda's overrated. That's my take.
So
Oda is overrated is a way different statement.
You can't say you're just halfway through this. You can't. Nothing he says makes sense. We're halfway through. We only have one arc left. How are you halfway through and you only have one arc left?
So like, for instance, we just say it's overrated, but it still holds it's iconic, like the straw hats. Well, the symbol of the straw hats. People like Ace, Zoro.
Like I said, what it's done for the anime community is S.
Mm-hmm.
But objectively, watching it as a show from start to finish right now, someone who has started off by watching JJK, who started off by watching other newer shows, which are very polished and refined, which, in all fairness, they learned their mistakes from like shows like One Piece that, like, they came out very early on. Like, realistically, it's not an S tier show. You know what I mean? But I could understand why it's some of people's favorites. There's a lot of nostalgia involved. A lot of what is done for the anime space, like, is very reflected in a lot of shows we have today. That doesn't make it an S. You know what I mean?
Should we give him the point or no?
Like, put it this way, I'm not going to look at a stone tire and be like, I should put that on my car.
I feel like he really believes it, but at the same time, I don't think that argument was actually good enough to ever even think about convincing someone otherwise.
Yeah, especially because, like, I would say, like, the Marineford arc Right?
How far is Marineford into this?
That's
into
not-
the,
that's not the point.
It is. How far is how many episodes?
I don't know.
No.
I guarantee
Let
it's
him
at least
finish. Let him
200.
finish. Let him finish.
It's probably considered one of the greatest written like stories for a single arc
Yeah.
ever made across like an anime platform.
Okay.
So if
Right.
you have an arc that's #1 across all animes, and you might have an arc that has choo-choo, right? Whatever. But like, shouldn't that mean something?
Yeah, it means that your whole show wasn't dog shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I don't know, Chris. I don't know.
Or like for instance,
Look,
like
I've said, I think they did a really good job in the later parts. I think they did a great job of adding good characters in the later parts. I'm gonna throw something out there. I'm not the biggest Zoro fan.
what?
I like
Really?
No, I don't. I don't think
Wow.
He's nowhere near one of the most compelling characters. Like,
It's because you didn't watch
Yes.
Thriller Park.
I get it. I get it. But
Like nothing happened. Like
I don't know. I think One Piece would be better if there was more Goldie Roger.
but
He's dead.
Yeah.
I know. Give me that.
What?
I think you're missing the
Give
whole
me One
point.
Piece Zero.
What
No!
Oh no. Way.
The
Ugh.
prequel.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know.
You know why One Piece is overrated? Because they killed Ace.
Ouch.
Jess is like, now he might have a point.
No, he didn't need to die, but his death was great storytelling. Again, I don't think he should have died, but that's copium more
Oh, no,
than anything.
honestly, it needed to happen to make Luffy step up. It partially because Luffy knew, right?
They could have killed Zoro.
But it wouldn't have meant as much. And I will 100% die on
They
that
could have
hill.
killed Sabo.
No one cares about Sabo.
They're brothers.
Yeah, you don't think Luffy would have cared?
No. As much as Ace,
Yeah.
They could have killed Shanks.
I still think I don't think it would have left a big enough impact. Because the whole thing is that Luffy was chasing Shanks for sure. But Luffy always knew that Ace had his back, no matter what.
Plus, Shanks is a traitor.
Yeah, that is my theory.
That is his theory. That's his biggest theory. That's his biggest tinfoil hat theory for sure. Anyways.
I mean, there's probably another 1,000 episodes left, so maybe, maybe. Who knows in the upcoming episodes?
All right, Jess, time for you.
Wait, are we gonna give him that point or not?
I don't know.
I don't feel.
I don't think I could give it to you.
I don't think so.
Just
either.
because I also know the community is gonna be like, whoosh. Sorry.
Well, more so.
You guys just don't want to get canceled with me. You guys are cowards. You guys aren't afraid to say the things you know in your heart.
I just don't think your argument was good. I think there was better points you could have made.
That's the best I can make for not watching 90% of the show. No, 99% of the show. Go.
Uh-oh. What is it?
Oh no, this is the worst one for me.
Uh-oh.
Gojo is a poor man's Kakashi.
I always knew you felt like that.
Yep.
I know
knew
you
it.
argued against us before,
So,
but I'm glad that's finally coming
No.
out.
We can clip this part out.
I'm glad the truth
and be
is
like,
finally
I
Good to
gotta
go.
like just lose the person I was and become a whole different person in order to.
We all know Kakashi is the zaddiest of zaddies. It's okay.
Okay, well, first off, Kakashi's physique,
Peak.
great.
Yep.
Gojo,
Twin.
anime, Gojo, anime, not manga, Gojo, anime.
I know people get all booty tickled.
Well, it's true though. They nerfed them in the anime,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I
I
have
know.
They
no
even
idea
nerfed
why.
Itadori in the
I
anime.
know,
I
but
know.
only season 2, right?
Yeah.
He looked great
season,
season 1.
Yeah, season 2.
So weird, but
They buffed Megumi.
Yeah, they
do I
did.
take the L? I don't even have any points for Kakashi. Like, I really don't. I don't know how to defend
He's
this
got
man.
better drip.
First of all, Gojo knows 3 moves, and they're all named after a color.
Blue, red, purple.
Kakashi knows over 1,000 moves.
Yeah, because he copied them from the eye that he stole.
But would you rather be in someone with bed that knows 3 moves or 1,000?
Yeah, exactly. And he's the master of using his hands.
It's true.
Gojo only has this one technique.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm legit trying to like think of something for Kakashi, my man's Kakashi, who is better than Gojo. Gojo is a poor man's Kakashi. These are the points I'm making right now. Take notes.
You're just saying the same card over and over. It's not even like
I'm
a.
like having such a hard time thinking of something. Well, yes, Gojo might be the strongest, but his personality of knowing he's the strongest and not really caring has put not just himself in dangerous positions by letting his guard down when in the flashback when he's in the Tengen's barrier, but he also actually causes the death of people closest to him. For example, I really think that Gojo should have offed Jogo during their initial fight and chased down the flower god Hanami. I think he could have done it. And I think the only reason he didn't try, and that's something we see very often, is that he does things with such ease that when he has to try for something, he often chooses not to. And that huge personality flaw has led to the old man's death. I would say it caused Nanami's death because it put him in such a poor state from Jogo that he couldn't really do anything against Mahito. And you might argue he couldn't have done anything anyway, but he was, like, Itadori was right on his tails. If he could have held out for just 5-10 more seconds, there's a good chance that Itadori could have stepped into the fight. They could have tag teamed it, whatever, and Nanami could have survived. It's time and time again, Gojo's personality has resulted in the death of characters I love. Whereas Kakashi, he is so thorough. He always makes sure to put others first. He puts his students first. He is truly someone that cares deeply and does not make mistakes because of his own ego.
So on the point,
So you really think that he's a poor man's Kakashi?
Yeah, he's caused the death of so many people. He's just a irresponsible, unattentive, uncaring, conceited Kakashi.
Kakashi was very similar to that before the whole Obito Rock situation, though.
I'm sorry, but when was that? As a child? Yeah, I was like that as a child too, all right?
I mean, he also, like, Kakashi didn't actually train Naruto, right? He trained Sasuke, his, like, favorite pupil. When technically...
I'm sorry, Gojo trains Itadori all the time. Megumi too, like, before Itadori came into the picture, let's make that clear. Once Itadori came, he was like, I like this one better. Nobara got nothing from that man. That man neglected her.
Gojo, so Gojo did 2 of 3, right? Kakashi did.
No, he only had 1 at a time. It just happened that he met Megumi before. So he really didn't. I don't think
also,
so.
How dare you say he didn't train Naruto? Do you know the only reason why Naruto can do the Rin, the Win Rasen Shuriken is because of Kakashi?
Yeah.
He's the only reason he knows how to use his nature release.
That's Shippuden, but I mean, like, when they first took over.
Well, in that case, Gojo actually had other students too that he also did not train.
Kakashi's a perv, though.
Yeah, he reads a smut book in front of his students.
So he knows what he's doing.
His minor students.
So he knows what he's doing, and he wants his students to know that.
He wants his students to know what he's doing?
That
That sounds like the problem with the Loli situation that he got mad at me for.
Yeah, Jess.
Gojo also taught, if you remember, like Inumaki, Panda.
But he wasn't their only sensei.
But in that same respect, like, that's like saying, like, oh, why didn't what's that guy's name? The teacher, the really good one that taught Naruto.
Oh, Jiraiya?
No, from before Kakashi, the school teacher.
Oh, Iruka.
Iruka. Like, that's like Iruka, Like, Iruka taught everyone before that, too. It's like, whatever.
No, but Kakashi was the captain. That was his job for those 3.
Yeah, I guess Gojo is also their captain to a certain extent.
Kakashi knew that Naruto was the son of his
mentor.
And he still left him like the 3rd Hokage.
Well, have you considered maybe that's just a plot hole because they had no idea what they were writing?
Plot hole, still part of the character, though.
Well, I'm pretty sure Gojo is a virgin, so. Where does he have the time?
Where does Kakashi have the time?
I think Kakashi has a lot more time than Gojo because Gojo's always out on missions and stuff.
So is Kakashi?
No, he had a lot of free time.
He started the
He had a lot of
Abu
free
at like
time.
what, 13?
No. When he was
so.
their captain, he had a lot of free time.
Did
He was
he?
always just walking around and like, yeah. Because he had to always go with his team on missions, but
Except
they didn't want to take all the kids on missions all the time, so they always had big breaks.
Except whenever he had to do an S class mission.
Yeah, but he's so strong, it's like whatever, you know?
Oh,
And I'm sure he did a great, thorough job on them, unlike someone we know.
I'll give it to Jess just because
Yeah.
I know she didn't want to
I know.
do that. And she came up with something.
Do you want a tissue, Jess?
More like a butterfly day.
Yeah,
All
but I'll
right.
give it to you, Jess. It's okay.
All right, Chris, let's see what you're going to get.
I'm actually really impressed, Jess.
Honestly, it hurt. It really hurt.
Why do I get these?
I got lollies or not
I know,
bad.
you got lollies.
Yeah, but at least you could make an argument for that. Hold on.
I don't
Hold
know
on.
if I could have.
Animes are for kids, just a cartoon.
That's messed up. I watch anime.
Wow, you think I'm a kid, Chris?
You know, look, by definition, anime is just a Japanese cartoon.
But it's meant
You
for
know?
kids? Only?
Yeah. You know, things like Berserk, you know, it's just, you know, fantasy
So
fantasy
you think
written on
Redo of
paper.
Healer is for kids?
So you think Boku no Pico is for kids?
Yeah. You think Unchained Soldier is for kids? You think World's End Harem is for kids?
Why do you know so many of
You
these?
think Rosario plus
I know.
Vampire is for kids? You think Bible Black is for kids?
Yeah, see, I
You
can't
think
do this.
Inadeki
There's like no
Seki is for
way.
kids?
There's no way.
Listen, I just defended
No, but listen.
Gojo is a poor man's Kakashi.
Because you can make an argument for that. Could you make it? Because all you have to bring up is any one little hentai. This whole thing falls apart. There's literally no argument.
Okay. I'll give you another chance. I'll give you
There's-
pick a different card.
Yeah, I was like,
Pick a
there's no
different card.
argument that can be made with that.
Well,
But you have to defend this one with your life, Chris.
Oh, yeah, this is easy.
what is it?
One Piece remake will make it watchable.
Yes.
I was gonna say because like I don't think it's a bad idea because the original animation style, like the first 600-ish episodes,
Oh.
you know.
You think it's not watchable?
And I wouldn't say it's not watchable. It's rough, right? And you're talking about like I would say millennials, mid to older millennials, so like
Yeah.
me and older, right, would have an easier time watching it compared to like a younger millennial to like Gen Z trying to get into One Piece. One, you have over 1,000 episodes, right?
It's daunting.
And I know people have this misconception that One Piece only has like 10% filler or whatever,
Yeah.
but that's just episodes, right? That's not including the filler parts that are within the episode, the extreme B-roll parts and like the cutting around fights that didn't necessarily happen. And I do think having a remake of it, especially by a studio like Studio Wit that they're doing, who animated the first season of or the first 2 seasons of Attack on Titan that did, oh my gosh, what's the Viking one called again? I'm blanking on it.
Vinland
Vinland
Saga.
Saga.
Yeah, Vinland
Yeah.
Saga would be great, especially because like they already said they're going to be cutting it down to potentially anywhere between 300 to 400 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah, like the episode count.
For One Piece?
Yeah.
So, sorry. Before we get into my questions for Chris, I have a hot take that I want to just say to all the One Piece fans watching out
Oh
there.
my gosh.
And I will get canceled. I don't care. The only reason you guys have the audacity to always look me in the face and tell me that One Piece is a journey and I shouldn't skip any episodes, the only reason you justify it by calling it a journey is because you realize you've wasted 1,000 episodes of your
60 like
life, and you
67 or
have
something.
to say that you went on a journey rather than I sat in front of a TV and
Watch
And it-
20,000 minutes.
watch 2 years worth of my life just pass before my eyes. People are gonna be like, it's not 2 years,
So
it's 3 months.
You think the original is unwatchable?
I
Since the remake will make it watchable.
I think for the majority of fans out there that haven't even started it, we'll take one look at, we'll just look at one
It's not even the
episode
right
count.
aspect ratio.
Yeah, it'd be done.
Yeah. Like the aspect ratio is literally like almost the square.
It's like, yeah.
It's really bad.
Did they never hear of 69?
No, because remember, 69 ratios back when this first came out, when One Piece first came out, for TVs didn't exist.
Yeah. We've gone towards a wider screen.
Remember, you have to go.
Why is that?
Because there were box TVs back then, remember?
I do remember. I had one in my...
I think One Piece came out like 20 years ago.
25.
25 years ago.
Yeah. Almost as long as I've been alive.
How many years?
25.
It's way more than you've been alive. Wait.
What?
Forgot. You're old.
Chris.
What?
You're so young.
I was
You're
like,
younger than Jess.
I was like, excuse me? What?
Surprise!
I got de-birthdayed? Is that what happened? I lost years? Or gained years? I gained years?
Yeah, it's the explosions. You lost the years.
Yeah, no.
And your ears.
And my yeah, no, but I do think it's going to be amazing, and it's going to bring in, I think it's going to usher a brand new fan base that would never even have happened in the first place.
Devalue the work of the original mangakas?
It deserves
Or
to
sorry,
be devalued.
original animators.
No.
It deserves to be devalued.
Well, and not to mention, I mean, you can still watch classic movies that have been redone and still appreciate the classic work.
Yeah.
You think?
Minus Ghostbusters.
I think as long as they keep the same drawing style, but just refresh the color and everything, I don't think they're doing a disservice.
Right, especially because like Wano would be perfect. Wano's a perfect example.
Yeah. Like, there's just way too much B-roll in the beginning.
Why
Like,
are you helping him? We're supposed to.
because I hate One Piece. It needs to be cut down.
I'm trying. Like the thing is, I do agree with that take,
Yeah.
but I'm trying to be devil's advocate.
I know, but it's hard.
But like he's here, like arguing on your behalf. I don't understand.
He's calling a witness to the stand.
Yeah, I call Tyler. I call Tyler to the stand.
Yeah.
All right, you get the point, Chris.
Yes.
You get the point. Oh
Finally,
my
that's
gosh.
something I can actually argue.
Oh,
Taking off the top this time.
Good
all
luck.
right.
Oh, this one I can argue for. Tropes aren't overplayed. You're just a weeb. I 100% believe this. I think the people that say tropes are overplayed are only saying that because they've been an anime veteran for so long that they're like, oh my gosh, like it's ridiculous. Like the whole nosebleed with like the pervy guy. To someone watching that for the first time and that's their first anime, like that's funny. You know what I mean? So like you can't expect everyone to be on the same level as you, like especially when there's so many people getting to anime for the first time, and you can't expect them to go back and watch it. Because then what we're gonna say, if you get rid of all those tropes, they never happen again. Well, then the new generation will never know about them. And like realistically, I think they have a place, and I think the only reason people are like tired of it is because they either watch too much anime, which I don't think is a thing. But like if you've gotten to that point, you've watched for yourself too much anime, and you need to take a cleanse and realize why you got into anime in the first place. It's for these tropes. Like we like tropes, or I like tropes, like the white haired old man always being super powerful. That's a trope. People don't seem to get tired of that. But like it's only the tropes that people pick and choose of what they don't like that they say is overplayed.
Like what?
Like for example, like the whole like, oh, like pervy old man, or like this guy gets a nosebleed whenever he sees like a girl, like, oh, that's overplayed, or like
lollies,
or like a harem, right? Or like, oh, this main character's overpowered, but no one knows about it. Like, yes, like there's been a lot of animes like that. And for example, a trope is isekai, right? Isekai has been out for so long. And if we ever get like a new isekai anime, people are like, oh, it's a new isekai anime. But what if that's someone's first isekai anime? That might be like a very nice introduction for them.
Yeah,
right?
It could be a nice introduction for them. But you know what else came out that same season?
What?
5 other isekais. You don't think that's too much?
Yeah, but you don't have to watch it. I don't think there's an issue with it being overplayed. I just think that there's an issue with people like having an issue with like saying something's overplayed just because they themselves are tired of it. Like that's like saying that a restaurant's not good, but that's the only place you eat 365 days out of the year. It's not that it's not good. It's not that it's over. I'm trying to think of what the word is. Sorry, I'm having a brain fart. It's not that it's an overrated restaurant. It's just that you eat there every single day. So, of course, and you get the same meal from there every single day. So, of course, you're going to feel like it's overrated. Just like think about it from like fresh eyes, or maybe just take a break from an isekai if you just got off of an isekai and then come back to it later and look at it from a brand new perspective.
Okay. I'll give it to him.
Yeah.
Mostly because I agree, and I'm having a hard time thinking of like
Yeah,
questions to
yeah,
ask him.
Yeah, I mean, plus not to mention, I do think tropes are tropes for a reason. Like the whole white hair being overpowered, right? It makes it easy for the viewer to identify that's the hero.
Yeah, I also think the overplaying of tropes allows us to then break from tropes in a very surprising and fun way. And if you didn't have that, you wouldn't be able, like, it wouldn't be that like shock moment or that surprise.
I'll give it to you. All right. Ooh, this is a fun one. Sakura is the strongest female character in Naruto.
I'll let you go because I have so much to say about this.
Well, I'm gonna go off of it's just the strongest, right? And it'd be if that's a Naruto, and I was talking about Naruto season 1, right? As he's fresh out the womb, and I was like, oh, he's not strong there. That'd be ridiculous, right? So I'm going off of very end of Naruto. It says Naruto, not Boruto. We're talking about the show, not the character, right? So end of Naruto, the show, strength competition. All right, that's where I'm basing this off of. And I'm not saying that they're as strong as Sasuke or Naruto, okay? That's not what it says. It's the strongest female character.
Okay.
And let's think about what she's been able to do, right? Like, would you call like an S-rank healer weak? No, it's just that their skill set is different, right? And we have to give it to her that she is a great healer. She has great control over very intricate procedures, as we even saw the first season of Naruto Shippuden when she did that little water or poison thing for Kakumura or something. I forget his name. He's the puppet guy.
Oh yeah, Kankuro.
Yeah, she's done a great job. Now where she might lack a little bit is actually in the strategy department. I think that's where her biggest flaws are. She's not very good at coming up with a game plan, a plan of attack, on like analyzing her opponent and like accurately fighting with that play style, right? But it's the strongest. And when she doesn't have to think about strategy or whatever, aka when Granny Chia was puppet mastering the heck out of Sakura, right? We gotta admit, she was pretty darn good. Was she the one that was coming up with what she was doing? No, but was it her strength? Yes. And so what I'm trying to get at, what just her strength, right? Plus Granny Chia's actual strategy and technique, she was able to take down one member of the Akatsuki. And now I get I know what everyone's saying, well, it was all Granny Chia. Okay, yes, it was all Granny Chia's strategy, but at the end of the day, she can't puppet master like a table to take down what's his name, Sasori?
Yeah.
Sasori, right? Would you agree with that statement? Could Granny Chia cannot puppet master this table to taking down Sasori?
I mean, she could have thrown it.
But would it have destroyed Sasori?
No.
Exactly. But she could, with the help of her strategy and puppet mastering, take down Sasori with Sakura's strength, her actual strength, because she is the strongest female character in Naruto.
Okay.
I
think we have a lot to talk about here. First of all, do you remember the Raikage's bodyguards? Naruto bodies the girl, clasps the sword in between his shadow clone. Sai comes in for an attack. Sakura's like, I'm gonna go too. She's already strong at this point.
Yeah, she should put in.
Yeah, she's gonna go run. Gets side whip kicked off the screen.
Listen, I never said she had the best strategies. In fact, I specifically said her plan of attacks are notoriously terrible.
But if you're only good at
no,
punching, you need to have strategy.
Yeah.
That's not what the statement is.
Strength,
The
it means many
strategy
things.
is missing, yes.
So she's a glass healer is what you're saying.
She is. No, because she is really good at healing. She's like, imagine Sky in Valorant. She can heal others, not herself.
Yeah, so
but she's also really strong.
So she's a glass healer.
No.
Is what you're saying.
She's more like Sage, where like she's really good at healing others, not the best at healing herself. And then whenever she wants to, she's like, I'm gonna go in for the fight. But she's like our Sages, you know, doesn't throw a slow orb, doesn't put up a wall, just takes the fight against the Neon, full on Neon slides. She's still not even adjusting for the Neon. You know what I mean? That's Sakura. And you think that Sakura is stronger than Conan?
Listen.
Or do you think that Sakura...
No. End of Naruto, Conan is... All right, so yes.
No.
Yes,
But
I'm sure she could beat her in her
Naruto.
grave.
We're saying in Naruto, not in the end of Naruto.
Do you think Hinata is weaker than Sakura?
Yes.
I believe that. Yeah,
Really?
I think so.
I think Hinata...
Naruto the last.
I think Hinata is really, really strong against fellow melee competitors that
Sakura.
No, because Sakura has one other thing going for her, which is that her enormous strength, she doesn't always use to punch. She does quite frequently punch the ground to make the ground all crumbly. And you know what Hinata really sucks in? When she has uneven footing, because all of it comes from like the stability of their stance or whatever. So by that, she is actually... I think they would lose. That Hinata would lose in a 1v1 only because it's just a bad matchup.
But Hinata has distance, like she can still throw from a distance.
Sakura can get a rock and throw her.
Here you go.
Throw it at her head. I'm sure.
Do you think she is stronger than Mei, the Mizukage? She has the Kekkei Genkai.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about her.
Or do you think she's stronger than
She's
Tsunade?
a Kekkei Genkai that can spit lava out of her mouth.
What about Tsunade?
Tsunade, she is a better healer than Tsunade, but Tsunade is stronger.
Yeah.
But you know where Tsunade really lacks? Mental strength.
So you think she's stronger than Kaguya Otsutsuki?
Last time we checked, she is a female.
Yeah. She gave birth to the two.
I think if Sakura was fighting during their childbirth, yes, she could beat her.
During their childbirth?
No, not even then.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Or do you
talking about the progenitor of chakra.
Or do you think she's stronger than Kushina?
Kushina is long gone by Naruto. And we're talking about
her spirit lived
the
on.
Strongest female. Yes, I do believe that Sakura could absolutely shit on her spirit. Because that's the only thing alive in Naruto. So, yes.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't give this one to you.
All right. It's your turn, Chris.
FYI, you should have brought up her light novel.
I didn't read her light novel, so I couldn't say.
Are you talking about the one that was like where she went up against Shin Uchiha, the fake Uchiha? Yeah, that was part of Boruto, though.
I mean, okay, I can make an argument for this.
What is it? People
who like JJK are just bandwagon jumpers.
Or they watched any part of JJK
and
just had 2 brain cells
of JJK.
Right, but I mean, essentially, it's just Bleach.
It's not.
Yes,
it's so much better.
No.
It's the same storyline as Bleach.
But better.
It follows the same guidelines as Naruto.
But better.
But I'm just saying, like, these are just bandwagoners that hopped on.
No, because by saying they're bandwagoners, you're saying that they wouldn't have liked it if JJK wasn't so big. But I am arguing that no matter what,
like, I would put this in the
it.
same place as Demon Slayer.
Completely disagree.
No, and the fact that the reason why Demon
Slayer is bandwagoners.
Yeah, yeah, but it's like for instance, like the animation for JJK, absolutely gorgeous, which is what sells like 80% of like any anime, right?
Yeah,
at least 80% of whether or not you're going to continue to watch it, right? Because if it's bad animation from the get go, you're not gonna watch it, correct?
Sure.
JJK has some of the best that's out there, if not like one of the best, right? So it's really easy for people to hop on to something that's already really popular. Because I wouldn't say the first half of JJK, a lot of people were talking about it. I wouldn't say it was until the latter half till it started breaking like ranks. People were like, "Oh, you need to get on this." And what's more than a bandwagoner that wasn't there from the beginning and was
But that's because they didn't watch it. They never
Yeah, that's
tried
because they
it.
didn't know
But
about it.
exactly. So they hopped the wagon onto a winning team. It's
But
just
they
like
didn't. But you stay on a bandwagon because people like it.
Yeah.
People don't stay on a. People didn't stay on Jujutsu Kaisen because it was like a bandwagon like kind
Yeah,
of
they
effort.
they
Like
liked
they
it.
actually like genuinely like it.
It's like the people who say they like the Patriots in football.
But that would be like if they said they like the Patriots, but the Patriots objectively, okay, let's pretend. I'm not saying this is true at all. I have no idea what sports are. But let's pretend that the Patriots undoubtedly had not just the best looking team of guys, like every single one of their members is better looking than anyone in any other member.
No,
They
that's
were
just Tom
all absolutely killing it in every single game, winning every single game by a wide margin, has great stories. Like, they're fucking making movies about these people, all right?
You're
Like,
really
each
disrespecting the
player.
Patriots, though.
Like, no, they're not that attractive. They're
No,
not
but-
winning every single game by a wide margin. Yes,
but
they
they-
win a lot, but that's not the same as every
But they
single
were
one.
when Tom Brady was there.
Yeah, but even then, they lost the last game, so
They won. With Tom Brady? What are you talking about, Jess?
not every single game.
They didn't go undefeated like the
Oh,
72
yeah.
Dolphins,
Okay, yeah,
the greatest team to ever touch this
Yeah,
earth
they
in
didn't
football.
go undefeated. So you can't just take my things and then just be like,
No.
well, they won most of them or they're mostly attractive. Like, I'm saying, like,
They-
undoubtedly 100%
Well,
better than
they-
every other team.
They've won the most Super Bowls. Which
No. This is win every Super Bowl.
well,
I'm
you
saying,
can't do
I
that,
know,
yeah.
I know, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
if the Patriots was actually that good, right? They're
Right.
winning every single Super Bowl, okay? Every single Super Bowl. And people started liking them. They're not particularly liking, like, jumping on the bandwagon. It's just that, okay, at this point, the Patriots is undoubtedly just the best team. Like, there's just no doubt about it. They are the best team.
But
There's
see,
nothing to jump on.
what
Like,
do
they
you-
just
But
are.
what do you call somebody who goes to a restaurant just because it's popular? And it just happened to be good. It doesn't matter. It just happens to be good. They're like, oh, this place is bomb because it's
No.
everywhere.
I think it depends on the level. People that go to In-N-Out are bandwagoners. People that go to Five Guys are cultured.
Oh my gosh,
Oh
no
my
way.
I think it's the same
no,
goodness.
no.
'Cause if we look at it,
I'm just-
Jujutsu Kaisen, one of the best animated things. I'm not going to say the best because there's things like Fate that give it a run for our money, but choreography of like the fights,
One of the
possibly
best.
one of the best,
Yeah.
if not the best.
I would even say Fate is up there too.
Because the Choso fight, even the Choso versus
That was gorgeous. Yeah,
Kenjaku was like nuts.
yeah.
But all their fights are great. Storytelling is great, and it's great without the whole needed like complication of things. Like, it is a very complicated concept when you get into how like curse energy works, but like you don't need it to be complicated. It doesn't like rely on complicatedness to like actually be a good story, right? And I feel like that's like what so many like they're like, oh, like there's all these twists and turns, but like JJK is like right in front of you, like, okay, there's obviously some weird stuff going on, but what you see is what you get, you know, and it's still a great story. It's compelling. All the characters are likable or hateable, which is great. It's
Right.
so hard to get both of those done well.
But I would argue, right? So, what would you consider a true fan? Someone that knows the story well.
No.
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 I
a
consider
true
it-
fan, to me,
Uh-huh.
is someone who genuinely likes it.
Yeah. I don't
That's
think you
all you
I don't
need.
think you have to cosplay.
No.
I don't
Yeah.
think
no.
you gotta
You don't
do
have to
anything
even
like-
know the story.
You don't
You
even
could
have to read
forget the
you don't
whole
even have to read the
season.
manga.
Yeah, you don't have to read the manga. You don't even have to read the
Right.
lore. You might not even know how cursed energy works. Like, you still don't get it. You don't understand it. And that's fine. If you genuinely like it, like you like it, then
Yeah.
you are
Oh.
a fan.
Okay. Well, I still think, right, the majority of fans right now that exist is because most people didn't hop on the show until about halfway through. It's like it being a thing. It's like episode 12.
But like, that's just because okay, hear me out, right? I didn't hop on to Noragami, okay, until both seasons were done,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
But I'm still a fan of Noragami. You know why? And I consider myself a fan of Noragami because I genuinely like it. But you're right. I did come in 2 full seasons late. That doesn't make me not a fan.
I mean, I would even say that all the new fans that are coming out now because they were pressured to watch One Piece are bandwagoners.
To be fair, Tyler, I think where we're going to fundamentally disagree with Chris is the fact that he's the kind of guy that if you wear an AC/DC shirt, he's going to say, name 5 AC/DC songs that are not mainstream.
Yeah,
Whereas
right.
I'm
Not
just...
mainstream.
Yeah, that's going to be like, you're going to say like,
TNT.
Back in Black, and he's
Back
going
in
to... Yeah,
Black,
and he's going to be like, no!
Highway to hell.
He's going to be like, it needs less than 1 million views on YouTube.
At least.
Yeah. Like, and meanwhile, I'm like, if you like it, you like it. Like, why do I got to argue with you on
But
that?
because bandwagoners are still fans.
But at what point is someone a band? Like, at how many fans
Yeah.
does like you becoming the X fan
I would say
become a bandwagon?
the moment you hear about an anime trending on Twitter or Instagram, and it's halfway through its season.
That's so ridiculous.
Nope.
So I'm a bandwagoner for Noragami.
Yes. But it's okay. If you enjoy it, it's fine.
How do you feel about Joe Pera's love for Baba O'Reilly? Is
No,
he a bandwagon?
because
Yes.
it's like one of those things when people switch football teams just because another team won.
No, because that's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
No, it's the same
That's
thing.
so different.
It's the same thing. It's like all of a sudden there was all these Rams fans, and now where they
What
at?
if Jujutsu Kaisen gets bad, but people are still fans of it?
Then
Then they're no longer bandwagoners?
correct. It's like being a fan of the Detroit Lions or the Buffalo Bills.
It's like being a Sentinels fan. Sure, they're good now, but you know how long I had to wait for them to get good again?
Yeah. See? True fan.
Well, write in the comments which one of these you might agree or disagree with. And keep in mind, we don't agree with most
I agree
of
with
these.
every single one of these statements we've said so far.
Oh my gosh.
Including the lolly?
Especially.
Oh, man.
Oh, jeez.
The seven
Roast
deadly
me in the
sins.
comments. I don't care.
Oh, gosh.
The seven deadly sins one? Oh, dude.
7 Deadly Sins. I'd rather have season 4 than season 1.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my gosh. I hope they redo season 1 and 2 with the same animation season
Yeah.
3 and 4.
Oh, that'd be so bad.
I'd love to see him catch a spear at 2 frames per second. Beautiful.
That's being generous.
Yeah.
It's like a half a frame.
Gosh. All right. See you next week.